Hey guys, today I'm going to share with you how to make super easy and delicious Manteconchas. So if you want to learn how to make them, just stay tuned and I'll show you how. Alrighty guys, so here I already have all of my ingredients. As always, they will be listed in the description box. So with that being said, let's begin baking. Alright guys, we're going to begin by mixing our wet ingredients. So to my warm milk, make sure that it is about 115 degrees. We're going to be adding our melted butter, our vanilla, honey, and 3 eggs. We're just going to whisk it together until we break down the eggs. And once we have that, now we can get ready to make our dough. Alright guys, so to our stand mixer, we're going to be adding our 4 cups of all-purpose flour, half a cup of sugar, half a teaspoon of salt with 1 teaspoon of freshly ground cinnamon, and 2 1/4 teaspoons of instant yeast. Just going to give it a quick stir. Okay, and while that's mixing, we can add our wet ingredients. Okay, we're just going to allow it to mix for 3 minutes. Alright, so after 3 minutes, all of our ingredients should have mixed together. So now we're going to turn up the speed to medium and allow it to mix for about 7 to 8 minutes. Alright guys, so after 7 minutes, our dough should be ready. It should have come together. It's going to feel a little sticky, but you're also going to see that it is nice and elasticy, just like that. Alright, so now we're just going to get the dough out of the mixing bowl, shape it into a ball, and transfer it to a greased bowl. Make sure you grease the top of the dough so it don't dry out. Cover it with plastic wrap as well as a kitchen towel. And now we're just going to place it in a warm spot and allow it to double in size. This should take about 1 hour to 2 hours. Alright guys, so while we wait for our dough to rise, we're going to make our topping. So here I have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour and powdered sugar. Just going to mix it together. And to that, add 1 tablespoon of vanilla and 1 cup of butter flavored shortening. We're just going to crumble it together into a dough forms. Alright, so after a few minutes, your dough should have formed. This is what it should look like. It should be nice and smooth. Now, if you want all of your conchas to be vanilla flavor, you can stop here and wrap it into a plastic wrap or a Ziploc bag. But because I want my conchas to be all of the 4 traditional colors and flavors, I'm going to be dividing it into 4 even pieces. To cut it in half, and half again. One of them is going to be for my vanilla topping. Just going to wrap it and set it to the side. Alright, so for my strawberry topping, I'm going to be mixing in some red food coloring and 1 tablespoon of strawberry gelatin flavor. Just going to mix it in just until it comes together. Okay, so once we have that, now we're just going to wrap it in a plastic bag and set it to the side. Okay, now for our chocolate topping, we're just going to mix 1 tablespoon of cocoa and just mix it in. Okay, so once we have it, wrap it in plastic wrap and set it to the side. Okay, and for our last one, we're just going to mix in some yellow food coloring, just like that. Okay, once we have it, wrap it in plastic wrap. Alrighty, and once we have all of our toppings, we're just going to set them to the side until our dough has risen. Alright guys, so once our dough has doubled in size, now we can get ready to divide it. We're going to be dividing it into 16 even balls. Just make sure you get the air out. So now we're just going to get our dough and begin to cut it. Make sure that it is always covered so like that it don't dry out. And because I like to make sure that all of my dough and my conchas are nice and even, I like to divide it into 60 grams each ball. So once you have it, begin to shape it. Fold all the edges to the center, just like that. Then begin to shape it into a smooth ball, just like that. We can begin to place it into our greased baking sheet, and we repeat the process with the rest of our dough. So as we have divided all of our dough, we're just going to grease them with a little shortening or butter, and make sure that it is nice and greasy so like that the top can get stuck to it. Okay, now we're just going to keep them covered and start working on our topping. Now we're going to get our topping and we're going to be dividing them according to how many ball of those we got. So I got about 19, so I'm just going to divide this one into 5s. Going to grab a piece, roll it into a small ball. Okay, and if it feels too wet, you can always add a little bit more flour, and if it feels too dry, add a little bit more shortening. But once we have a little ball, I'm going to be using 2 pieces of plastic and just begin to flatten it. You can use a plate, just make sure that it's nice and even. Now grab your ball of dough, place it over, covering the whole ball. Going to be using my concha cutter and just press it down. Grab your cupcake liner, place your ball in there, and just add it to your cupcake pan. And we repeat the process with the rest of our conchas. Alright guys, so once we have our manteconchas, now we're just going to keep them covered and allow them to double in size. This will take about 30 to 45 minutes. And at this time, make sure you preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Alright guys, and once our conchas have doubled in size, and now we can get ready to bake them. We're going to place them in our oven and allow them to bake for about 20 to 25 minutes or until they're nice and golden. Alright guys, and after 25 minutes, our manteconchas are done. So now we're just going to give it a few minutes and then we can get ready for the best part. Alrighty guys, and now for the best part, the taste test. Now let me tell you guys that I hope you give this recipe a try. These conchas are seriously super easy to make. They're so delicious, super soft, and just honestly the best. Now I love the chocolate ones, so let's just remove it from there and just look at how soft they are. Look at that. Now grab your champurrado, your atole, cafe, or just your glass of leche. But let me tell you that these right here are honestly the best. So I hope you give them a try and enjoy them just as much. Cheers and enjoy. Look at that. It's so delicious. Perfect for your family gatherings. These are seriously so easy to make. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and if you did, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. And if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the next one.